It is time to review those WOE benefits. Welcome back to Cocky Gadgets, and in this video we're going to talk about WOE, but in particular the WOE benefits, right? What do you have for you to participate in WOE? And honestly, the benefits are extremely good even if you do not have a castle. But here I'm also going to talk about the extra benefits that you get from having a castle. So right over here, right, this is the Emperium preparation room, I think. So this is in your guild HQ. So over here, right, the first thing I'm going to talk about is based on the fact that there is going to be new supply shop. Over here you can see that the most attractive thing, right, is going to be for free to play and light spenders, the time space feather. So for you guys like me included, my feathers are not yet maxed out, and of course they are extremely low level. So this is our next step of progression for our feathers. With the WOE release, we are going to be able to level them up, provided you participate in WOE actively each week. So on the screen right now, you should be able to see that there are different mileage rewards from just participating in WOE. Basically just like assisting, killing people, staying in the castle, etc. So getting the max mileage is probably going to earn you, if I remember correctly, 1200 points, and then you should be able to open 3 other boxes that appear in your guild hall itself subsequently, right, for another 160 points. So that will add up to roughly around 13 feathers that you can change each week. And that's the reason why I say that you definitely have to participate. It doesn't matter if you are not strong enough to actually obtain a castle. However, definitely try to at least clear off the mileage system so that you will be able to obtain some of these rewards that are very beneficial for your progress. And subsequently, if you're really serious about it, try to apply to a better guild so that you can have a better experience in WOE. Of course, try not to appear too late in WOE as well because of the limit system that I've told you guys about, the map limit system. There is a limit of, if I'm not wrong, 300 players in each map. So the defenders have an advantage. However, if you're just looking at just farming the rewards itself, you can just hide inside the castle. But to do that, you have to first be in the castle, right? If you cannot even enter the castle due to the map limit, it's going to be a problem. And this problem is especially serious in some of these Frontera servers, whereby a lot of players are in those servers compared to like my server, Morok 4, there is less people in this server. So the problem isn't as evident over here. And another thing that I want to mention over here is that you can see that there is a weekly limit of 5. So people might be thinking, hey, if I only need divine and nature, I'm focusing on divine nature, or I'm focusing on time space, I shouldn't buy the rest. And my advice to you guys is to buy everything, because after you've bought them, right, it doesn't matter which feather you buy, because if you go into your feather system, you go into the feathers and you go to convert, you can actually convert this time space feathers into the base material so that you can go into the shop itself. Over here there is the feather shop. You can use that to purchase the feathers that you actually want without limit. So the limit system, I'm not sure why they implemented a limit. It's quite dumb in my opinion. Just extra steps for you to acquire the feathers that you want. The next one I'm going to talk about is going to be the benefits of having a castle. You are going to enter the Lord Mayor's room. So in the Lord Mayor's room over here, right, if either your alliances or you were to get a castle, you will be able to enter the Lord Mayor's room and you will see 2 chests over here, right? So there should be a lucky box and there should be a large chest. So this is a personal reward, and you can only collect this after server time 12 PM the day after WOE. So as you can see right here, right, we do have collection over here, and I just collected the Emperium fragments as well as the guild contribution. So the extra box, you guys might ask, this lucky box, what does it do, right? If you click over here, guild members don't have the permission to open this box. So evidently only commanders can open this box, but this box rewards do not only distribute to the commanders. Instead, as you can see, like the name suggests, it's a lucky box. So 5 random members from your guild would obtain this once the commander opens the box. And on the screen you should be able to see the screenshot whereby my guild commander, my guild leader actually opened the box for people to obtain this reward. So every day it's going to be random, and similarly, right, like I mentioned, these 2 boxes are going to be a daily thing, so you can collect extra ones if you have a castle, which means that on the base fact that you do not get any of the rewards from the lucky box, you are going to at least get extra 700 Emperium fragments. I'm not sure if there is a difference between a smaller castle and a main castle, right? And as you can see on the screen, my guild actually managed to get a central castle. Kopitiam over here got Fate Green from Frontera. There's also a central castle for Giffen area, so this is going to be a weird name, I'm not going to pronounce it. Either ways, the rewards for both the central castle as well as the little castles, right, are all going to show as large chests, but inside the actual Emperium fragments that you get, I'm not exactly sure. So people in a guild that secured a non-main castle, non-central castle as they call it, right, definitely let me know in comment section below whether your large chest also contain 100 Emperium fragments. So additional 700 fragments per week, and that is going to add up to around maybe 3 more of those time space feathers. Very good lucrative benefits overall for having a castle. Of course, also there are going to be other benefits, and by clicking the preview button over here, you should be able to see what rewards you are going to get based on the central and non-central castle. For the central castle, these are the rewards. Non-central castle as such, the only differences I've noticed is that the mount itself is different, right? This is a skateboard while this is like the mummy's throne, and also there is one additional Osiris inside this Prontera region. For the Giffen region, the only difference is the mount. There is no difference in the dungeon monster, so I'm not exactly sure why Prontera has an extra Osiris, which brings me to my next point. If you have a castle, you are able to access the guild dungeon, and if you click on the NPC over here, you should be able to see that there is an option to enter the guild dungeon if you have a castle. Disclaimer here, if you are part of an alliance but you yourself do not have a castle, you will not have access to guild dungeon. If you click on the guild dungeon, you should be able to see that inside the guild dungeon there are different monsters, including an MVP, and also there are minis if I'm not wrong. So you can see over here this Infernal Nightmare, this is a mini. By killing this minis and MVPs, you are able to obtain further rewards, and this minis and NPCs spawn every 2 hours, and there is a limit of twice per day that you are able to kill these minis to obtain the rewards, after which you will not receive any more gift boxes. You should be able to see on the screen what these gift boxes give you. So extra Emperium fragments once again contributes to extra time space feather. So very simple, if you have a castle, you're going to have access to a lot more time space feathers or a lot more Emperium fragments, right? Depending on what you want to buy, you can buy other stuff, it's really up to you. And also in this dungeon here, you can see that these monsters, right, they are not the same levels as the monsters being showcased outside the guild dungeon. They have different levels. As a good example, aggro over here is not level 85 if you were to check the Monsterpedia. If I'm not wrong, it is level 75. And from what I've noticed, the HP either remains the same or some of them have actually nerfed HP. So there is benefits for you to train and grind over here, and also there's the added benefit of no one being able to KS you except for your guild mates, right, in those guild dungeon. So we're just going to enter and I'm going to show you guys the guild dungeon, how it looks for people that don't have a castle but you're aspiring to get a castle. This is how the guild dungeon looks. So going into the guild dungeon, it is very simple layout. I'm not sure if all the guild dungeons looks the same, but this is the current layout for the Prontera Fate Green, and you can anytime teleport back to the guild, and also you can just go back using the go to guild HQ function, right? So you don't have to come to this NPC. And just looking around, right, we just do a tour around the guild dungeon. You can see that these are the Hydras. They are level 65 over here, but there is something that I want to highlight to you guys, is that there are very limited spots whereby the 2 spots are very near each other. So if you look at this, right, so this is the air group spot and this is another air group spot. The usual distance between 2 air group spots, right, that you can see in Lava Canyon or in Mount Meonia is going to be much closer than this. So there might be a disadvantage to train over here if you cannot find a good spot, or if the good spots are already taken up by your guild mates. But like I mentioned, right, some of these have nerfed HP, so definitely check out which ones are the best for you. So far this is only our first rotation, right, so I don't exactly know what mobs are the best to farm and how exactly they are going to spawn, which camp is going to be replaced by which monster. So this is the only problem that I have over here, but definitely I would encourage you guys to test it out, either using non-CT hours when you're fatigued, come in to experience it, right? From what I've seen, some of these mobs give extremely good EXP and the rate might be much faster than what you can find outside, given some of the popular maps do have a lot of people, especially in more crowded servers like I mentioned, and not everyone can get a dark frame spot these days, right? So this might be an alternative to people that are lacking training spots. And that about does it for this video where I touch on the WOE benefits, what can you potentially get and what you should go for, right? My recommendations, like I mentioned at the start of the video, always go for the time space feathers if you are a light spender or a free-to-play player. This is going to boost your progression by a lot. And also if you happen to get a castle, you are able to see what you can get in this video. So definitely strive for a castle. Even a non-central castle is going to be very beneficial to you. Also for people that are curious how I did in the recent rerun of the pouring chest, right, definitely check out my video over here. I'll see you guys over there. This is Cocky Gachas signing off.